The Federal Privacy Council presents the Fair Information Practice Principles. In this video, we will review the concept of the FIPPs and why they are critical to the way the government approaches information management, especially when it comes to information about people. Information has never been more valuable. Just think about the technology around you, such as the device on which you are watching this video. What fuels it? Information. Today's world runs on information, and much of that information is about people. As organizations rely on information about people as a resource, it is important that they handle it in a way that promotes trust. At the same time, technological advances have transformed the nature and extent of information about people that organizations generate and use. Naturally, this has raised questions about the impacts on privacy. Do I have to provide this information? How will it be used? Who will have access to it? Will it be shared? How will it be secured? What other information do they have about me? However, even as technology evolves, these questions are not entirely new, and people have been thinking about how to address them for quite some time. Enter the Fair Information Practice Principles, also known as the FIPPs. In 1973, a federal government committee responded to concerns about potential consequences for individuals from the handling of their information by releasing a report that established a Code of Fair Information Practices that we now commonly refer to as the FIPPs. These principles are foundational to what we think of as information privacy, and they are reflected in laws and policies around the world. They serve as a framework for organizations to manage information about people while also addressing questions about the effects on individual privacy. The FIPPs remain relevant across time and context, in part because they are not tied to a particular technology or type of data. Instead, they're designed to apply to any situation that involves handling information about people. The executive branch of the federal government collects a lot of information about people and uses the FIPPs as part of serving the public through a diverse range of agency programs. Being able to accomplish agencies' missions depends on those agencies having the public's trust that they are protecting individuals' privacy and properly handling their information. One way they do this is through evaluating information systems, processes, programs, and activities through the lens of the FIPPs. These principles apply across the information lifecycle when an agency handles personally identifiable information, or PII. That means they apply when agencies create, collect, use, process, store, maintain, disseminate, or disclose PII. So what are these FIPPs and what do they do? As reflected in federal law and policy, the FIPPs promote consideration of transparency, that agencies are transparent about PII policies and practices, providing clear and accessible notice about how they handle PII. Individual participation, that agencies involve the individual in the process of using PII to the extent practicable, seek individual consent for handling PII, and establish procedures to receive and address individuals' privacy-related complaints and inquiries. Authority, that agencies only handle PII that is directly relevant and necessary to accomplish a legally authorized purpose, and that they identify this authority in the appropriate notice. Purpose specification and use limitation, that agencies provide notice of the specific purpose for which PII is collected and only handle PII for a purpose that is explained in the notice and is compatible with the purpose for which the PII was collected, or that is otherwise legally authorized. Minimization, That agencies only handle PII that is directly relevant and necessary to accomplish a legally authorized purpose, and only maintain PII for as long as is necessary to accomplish the purpose. Quality and integrity. That agencies handle PII with such accuracy, relevance, timeliness, and completeness as is reasonably necessary to ensure fairness to the individual. Access and amendment. That agencies provide individuals with appropriate access to PII and appropriate opportunity to correct or amend their PII. Security. That agencies establish administrative, technical, and physical safeguards to protect PII commensurate with the risk and magnitude of the harm that would result from its unauthorized access, use, modification, loss, destruction, dissemination, or disclosure. Accountability. That agencies are accountable for complying with these principles and applicable privacy requirements, appropriately monitor, audit, and document compliance, clearly define the roles and responsibilities with respect to PII for all employees and contractors, and provide appropriate training to all employees and contractors who have access to PII. These are the FIPPs, a framework for managing PII that promotes public trust and is at the center of information privacy. To learn more, visit fpc.gov. There you will find more resources related to the FIPPs and federal information management, including resources on the Privacy Act of 1974 and OMB Circular A130.